don't get to just pick and choose what you do. You're going to be immersed. You're going to be pulled away from your family. You're going to be in the military. You're going to be required to imitate and follow rules. You're going to be required to teach other people. Here's the oath of enlistment for the Army since I was in the Army. I solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Now, nowhere in that statement is the word me or I, other than your name that you're swearing to it. It says, look, I'm going to defend against all enemies, anyone. I'm going to bear true faith and allegiance to the Army. I'm going to obey the orders, the President, people appointed over me, the rules you tell me to do. If you say it, I'm going to do it. It's pretty intense, right? Every time in the Army that someone enters the Army, they have to say this over. If they renew their contract, you've got to say it again. Why? We want to remember what you're signing up for. I was a company commander, and it wasn't official until I did the oath of enlistment with someone again if they wanted to re-up, to stay longer in the Army. Because this is essentially important to the Army. It's not about you. But isn't Jesus similar? Isn't he saying the same thing? It's not about you. It's about me. It's about God. You know, the cost of freedom is to follow me. You know, the cost isn't just to do what we want. Why does Jesus have such high expectations? These are hard. You know, all of us in here should be just challenged at hearing this message and thinking about it. Let's remind ourselves again what he says after he gives this challenging statement. In verse 35 in chapter 8, it says, "For whoever wants to save his life will lose it. Whoever loses his life for me and the gospel will save it." Talking about denying yourself. If you're not going to deny yourself, if you're just going to do what you want, you know what? You're not going to be able to save it in the end. You've got to disown yourself in order to save it. In verse 36, "What good is it for a man to gain the whole world and yet forfeit his soul? Or what can a man give in exchange for his soul?" In other words, if you're not willing to stand up for Jesus, you're not willing to take up your cross, you're not willing to die, then how can I help you? That's what he's saying. You can't gain the whole world and expect to also gain God. You've got to give up something. And verse 38, "If anyone is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, the Son of Man will be ashamed of him when he comes in his Father's glory and the holy angels." Why do most of us not follow Jesus at times? Because we're ashamed or we're scared. So he says, look, if you're not going to follow me, if you're going to be ashamed of me in one form or another, then follow me ashamed. He doesn't say it to be harsh, but he says it to be honest. He says it to be real. He says it to show us what the true cost is. Jesus doesn't want just someone to follow him, to come along for the ride. He wants sold out men and women for him.